Alrighty, hey guys, I'm going to get into some soldering. I've been kind of just messing around with it, but I went ahead and cut all my pipe. But I can give you a little demonstration how you usually cut pipe with one of these things. So if you had a piece that you were trying to cut, okay, you just open this up until it fits in there, snug. Okay, right there you might be able to kind of see that little blade is going to be pinching into that thing. Okay, you don't want to make it too tight. Okay, if you tighten it down too much, it's gonna egg shake this. So it's gonna be an oval, not a square, or not a round. So just kind of get it tight. Since this is such a short piece, I've got these channel locks here, so I'm gonna just kind of loosely put those on there, and then you just twist it. So you twist it 3 or 4 times until it's kind of loose. Okay, then you just tighten this little knob, 1/4 inch of a turn every 3 or 4 turns. Okay. Turn, twist, turn, twist. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see that, but it's starting to kind of score a line on there. You just gotta have to do that slowly and by kind of small increments, just to make sure that you don't change the shape of that pipe. Okay, so there you go. Now, after you get the right size pieces, all you have to do is pretty much just clean them up. Okay. I don't know how well you will see that, but so it's kind of got a layer of like oxidization on it. Okay, so I'm going to use those 2 pieces. So we have this little tool here. Okay, you stick it on the tight end, give it a couple really good turns, and you stick it in to here so it's sticking out, and that'll clean the outside of it. So you can see how shiny it is compared to the other side that I've not cleaned yet. But since I'm going to be soldering on both sides of this, I'm going to go ahead and clean up both sides, okay? You're just going to clean it up till it's nice and shiny. Okay, so I've got that piece cleaned up inside and out. Okay, another thing that I kind of like to do and helps me fit a little bit better is take it and put it on some sandpaper, some real fine sandpaper. Just kind of give it a good kind of chamfered edge. It will kind of help it fit in better. So then right here I've got a cap. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm not going to clean the outside since that's not the piece being soldered. Okay, so inside's not nice and clean. Try to give it a good flat edge. Good to go. Okay. So then here we have the flux. Okay, this is just regular flux paste. All right, little brush. Just get a tiny little bit on there. Okay. A little flux is okay. A lot of flux is better, but you don't want to just drench it in there. Okay. Just put enough that you know that it's on there. Okay, so that's the cap done. And I'm going to put this on the outside of this tube, so then I'll be able to show you that a little bit better, the amount of flux to put on here. You can kind of just see a little bit of a film on there. Okay. I'm gonna fit these two pieces together, just like that. And I'm using this little block just to help me hold it. It doesn't matter how you put it on here, okay? The flux will or the solder will suck in there. Will be kind of like sucked in there. No matter how you have it, if you have it up, if you have it down, it doesn't matter, okay? I'm just doing it like this because it's a little bit easier for me to see, okay? For this first one, I'm going to be using this propane torch, okay? These things are pretty self-explanatory, okay? You can just turn it on by twisting this little lever, click it, and the flame is on, okay? Now, when it comes to solder, okay, you don't need that much, okay? Good rule of thumb is, like for a half-inch pipe like this, you'll use a half-inch of your solder. So you really don't need that much. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay. Well. Take this off of here. Oh no. I'll lower it down. I don't know how well you can see that or not. Okay. So I'm going to heat it from the bottom down here, okay? And then I'm going to just kind of touch my solder to the pipe. And once it starts melting, okay, I'm going to keep the torch moving. We're going to just go all the way around it, okay? Shoot. That was not too bad. So you really don't want to get it too hot, so you kind of just got to keep your torch moving, okay? There we go. Okay. So here, you can kind of see how it's got that like little ring of solder around it. A lot of it pulled up on the bottom side, so I used way too much solder. Okay. Sometimes if you get it fast enough, you can kind of scrape that off, but it doesn't really. It's not that big of a deal. So I just used a little bit too much. Okay. It's a pretty quick process. Okay. So you kind of have to get used to the timing of it. I'm gonna go cool this off, and then I'm gonna do this other side. I got this whole thing set up so that I'm gonna do some with this torch, some with a acetylene torch. So I'll be right back. Okay. Here, I've got that piece cooled down. Show you a little bit better. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but it's got a solid silver ring all the way around it. So that means that it's probably soldered pretty good. I know for sure you won't be able to see it if I show you to the inside of that, but it's pretty solid. Okay, so let's try another piece. We'll be going into an elbow piece this time. So I'll get my flux along here. This is a good cleaning. Both pieces. Put a little bit more flux on the inside of this elbow piece. Shove this thing in there. So I kind of egg-shaped my pipe just a little bit on accident when I was cutting it the first time. So I didn't really want to go in there very well, so just kind of spun it around until it fit. Okay, and this one I'm going to do, kind of point it down a little bit. Oh no, where did it still go? Like that. No, I'll do it straight up and down, okay, to show that it works straight up and down. See that? Okay. This one and the next one I'll do with this, and then I'll switch to the acetylene torch. I'll show you guys how to set up the acetylene torch for that. I'm going to heat up my female piece, the male piece going into the top joint piece, okay? So once this starts melting, I'm going to take the heat off and go all the way around it. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but I kind of missed a spot right here in front. Okay, so it goes from silver to not silver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-put the thing in here, just like this, and hit just that spot, and try to get that spot a little bit better. Okay. So that did it pretty good. Again, I'm going to go I'm going to go quench it, and then I'll be right back. Okay? Sorry, we're running back and forth. Alrighty. So here you can kind of see that I got all the way around this elbow piece with silver. So that would be a good solder. And again, I don't think you'll be able to see it inside of there, but you can kind of see a little bit of silver peeking out the inside. So that would be what we were looking for. Okay. Now I'm going to resolder this inside of this piece. Clean this piece. Go ahead and do both sides. I'm gonna have to do it anyway. A little bit of a bevel or a chamfer, just to give it a little bit of extra room inside that piece. And then add my flux. Okay, so now this one I'll do facing up like this. Okay. So open this all the way. Heating it up. Okay, so here you can kind of see that I got all the way around it. That's the important part. You won't be able to see inside there. So now I'm going to do another elbow piece. Clean it up. This time I'm going to do it with just acetylene. And this will be over. Okay? Flux. So that flux just helps it not get a layer of oxide on it. So like when it's not shiny, that's just it reacting with the air, creating a layer of oxide. So this flux just helps it not do that. Now, there's a bunch of different fluxes that we're not going to get into in this class, but there's a different flux for different applications. The textbook covers quite a bit of it. This isn't something you'd probably usually use in a welding job. This is more plumbing, but it's in the textbook, so I thought I'd cover it. Okay, so then I'm gonna put that in there sideways. And again, I'm going to turn it upside down so that you can see that even though it's upside down, the solder is going to be going up into it. It'll still suck up in there. Okay. Use that. I am going to be using this. This is just it's just a acetylene torch. It's hooked up to my acetylene bottle. I've got it just set at 3 psi. You don't really need any more than that at all. So this flame looks a lot different. So again, I'm just going to keep it moving. Once it gets heated up, I'm going to put my solder on there and move it around. Off. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much soldering. If you have any questions, let me know. I will post another video. It's a little bit more professionally made. I've never done this before, so I don't exactly know what I'm doing. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions.